as a petitioner. We have observed in the last two that he asked one of his brothers to stand in for the Labour Party. That is
which
one.
of his brother, please? Is there a name to this brother?
One Obiora. Was the one we saw.
Obiora who?
Obiora Ifo.
And he's a member of the Labour Party?
He was his own personal assistant from his town. You understand? Now, the next time we saw the Director General of the Labour Party campaign, they have ended their tenure as campaign organization for the party. We now consider this as absolute nonsense, absolute nonsensical. They are not members of the NWC. Only member of the NWC can be delegated by the chairman.
Hello, Mr. Arabambi. Can you hear me? I think it got interrupted there. Hello, Mr. Arabambi. Perhaps he's got involved with slight glitch from the service provider. We'll just try to re-establish contact. But meanwhile, I'm pretty sure you'd have questions you want to ask. Well, I will wait for those questions. You can send those questions to us using the number. Send those questions to us using the number 0809-030-6416. That is the WhatsApp number. So send in your questions so that we relay them over to the guest. We'll also open the phone lines in a matter of a moment. On Facebook, let's get your opinion. The effect of Labour Party leadership crisis, how it's going to impact the chances of the party at the tribunal. The important question many are asking is whether or not you would describe the crisis currently rocking the leadership of the Labour Party as politically sponsored or just a fight for fairness and rule of law. Apapa says he was not bought by anybody. He's not been sponsored by anybody. I was listening to DG for the OB campaign council yesterday, and he said, well, he would wonder how these people are able to even finance their flights and hiring of a son and the rest of these things that they are doing, which is quite expensive, knowing that according to them, they might not have the resources to do so unless somebody is somewhere sponsoring all of this, he says. Do you think it's sponsored or it's just Mr. Apapa deciding to say, I am going to fight for my rights? So let us know what you think. On WhatsApp, I've given you the number. I'll give it out again, 0809-030-6416. You can also get into on the conversation on Facebook. On Facebook, it is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. On Twitter, it is Nigeria Info PH. We're streaming live on all of those platforms. So join in, drop your comments and opinions, and let us hear. We'll open the phone lines now and hear your thoughts. We'll also try to reestablish contact with the guest, but let us hear from you and what your thought is about what is happening in the Labour Party at the moment, especially with the drama we saw at the tribunal. Meanwhile, this was something that was said by Abure, who also is claiming to be the who at the moment is, some people would say, well, factional. That's how it's been now. Factional chairman. We have two people claiming to be chairman of the party. But Abure was at a press conference in Abuja yesterday, where he announced his official return, the official return of all suspended national executive members to the secretariat, following motion for stay at the Court of Appeal. He also dismissed reports that the Labour Party has been factionalized, despite the fact that Mr. Apapa had taken over as acting national chairman with Abure's suspension. That is where we are at the moment. Remember that George had ruled that Abure, his national secretary, national organizing secretary, Clement Ojukwu, and one other person should no longer be given recognition as party executives. That also had come up. But he has returned with 3 executive members yesterday, announcing their return to the party secretariat. We are going to hopefully hear from the publicity secretary of the party as soon as we get back in touch with him to explain what this means. I will quote some of the comments made by Abure. He says, "It has become imperative for me to address this press conference to properly put the legal issues surrounding the leadership of the party in proper perspective. It is pertinent to state categorically that Labour Party has no faction," he says. "It has only one leadership, and that leadership is the National Working Committee led by myself, Barrister Julius Abure." That is where we are now with the Labour Party's leadership. We know that the case would return to the tribunal, should be heard today. What exactly and how this affects the chances of the party is a very big question. Other questions many have asked is party supremacy. Would it be out of place if those who are fighting for leadership positions now decide to say, let us wait until we finish what is happening in court so that our fight does not affect our opportunities in court? Perhaps we might come up victorious, who knows? But after what is happening in court, then we can come back and battle who should be who and what should be given to who for who they are. That's also another point of conversation, questions that many have been asking. Well, hopefully we'll get all of those in response from my guest when we return after a very short commercial. In the meantime, take advantage of the WhatsApp number and send your messages in 0809-030-6416. Remember, we are encouraging new callers and new participants on the show. So if you're listening and you've not been contributing, now just might be a perfect time to do that. On social media, we are live on Facebook, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, on Twitter, Nigeria Info PH. We will be back after this short commercial. Do stay with us.
You are tuned in to 90.
Nigeria Info 92.3 PH on Facebook and Nigeria Info PH on Twitter. My guest this morning is the National Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party, Abayomi Arabambi, who will be speaking with us via telephone this morning. Meanwhile, let's get your response. We'll put up the question for you on social media. On Facebook, we're asking how you would describe the current crisis facing the leadership of the Labour Party, politically sponsored or just someone fighting for fairness and rule of law. Mr. Apapa has said that he is fighting for fairness and rule of law. All right, quickly, let's get back to my guest, Mr. Arabambi. Thank you for joining us again. Hello, Mr. Arabambi. Can you hear me? Yes. All right, thank you for joining us again. All right, so let's get to it. We got rudely interrupted by the service providers earlier. Before we take questions from our listener, accusations would be that, well, yourself and those of you who are in support of Mr. Apapa's position as chairman are being sponsored by, in fact, specifically the APC. What's your position on this?
Thank you very much.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. You see, illegalities will not be condoned under any act of blackmail. He who alleged must prove that has not been able to come up with any proof other than the usual political blackmailing. But this has, now been the reason why Abure and Obi chooses to be co-traveler or business partner with respect to the Labour Party issue has really reared its ugly head of adversity. Do not forget, we are in tribunal challenges Suleimandi. But very, very unfortunately, the day of that, on the day of our major petition, will you believe that the governor of Abayomi led Akpabio to our office to come and solicit for the vote of our senators elect for them, to come and solicit for the vote of our senators elect APC. Akpabio was nominated by Tinubu. Now they have the audacity to come into our secretariat, and I've already seen them. So that shows.
But is it out of place if they are coming to solicit for? How many members, how many Senate elects does your party have at the assembly?
It is out of place. It is out of place.
No, okay. So let me ask a question. Abayomi. Abayomi, hold on. So if it is out of place, now that we have the president-elect trying to mend fences, we know that he's met with Kwankwaso. He's also trying to mend fences to get everybody to work together. Hold on. So I'm asking you now, if you think it's out of place for someone to come negotiate with your Senate-elect to see how he can ascend a certain position, would you also think it is out of place if the president-elect decides to call on Mr. Apapa, who claims now to be chairman of the party, to say, let us work together, let us foster some sort of unity? If that offer comes or that call comes from the president-elect, would you see it as out of place if it is accepted?
See, I will still go back to what I'm explaining. All the noise about in the petition, Tinubu was a job baron. Tinubu was not qualified. He stole our mandate. What the hell are you doing about the secretariat? That was the noise all about.
That's the question I'm asking. If now the president-elect says
they were the one that put those things in our
Mr. Arabambi. If the president-elect now comes and says he wants to mend fences with your party, speaking with the chairman in the person of, hold on, let me finish with the question. Speaking with the chairman in the person of Mr. Apapa, who says he's the acting chairman of the party, if the president-elect was to want to meet with him and the party to mend fences, would you see it as inappropriate?
And before I go to that question, you have refused to let us get into why Nigeria was put, at a boiling point now. I insist that for a party, Tinubu was a blood baron, and it was in our petition only for them to now be anointing the candidate of that person. It's, for us, it's not sense of responsibility. And
how did you come out to the conclusion that Godswill Akpabio is the candidate of the president-elect?
He was anointed by the NWC of the party, I'm a politician, and that is the position of the party.
Are you a member of the APC?
No, I'm a member of the NWC. I'm a politician. Even yesterday, Dogowa stepped down for the House of Rep candidate of their party. Just yesterday, he stepped down. So, we are politicians. You are not politicians. No more politicians. We know our way run. When they are going to Port Harcourt, they will go and they will first of all face Imo. They will not take reverse to Port Harcourt, but they will say that we are not the Port Harcourt. So I face the Port Harcourt with my back. So Mr.
Arabambi, then, if in that case, if what you have said is what the situation is, I'd like to ask you this question. If you're saying that politicians cannot be trustworthy or trusted because when they say one thing, they mean another.
I'm saying what they are doing in court. What we are doing in court negate what they did at the party secretariat.
All right. Let me ask this question, please. Are you in support of your presidential candidate's, Mr. Obi's candidacy?
We were the one that elected him in Asaba on May 29th.
So are you in support of it?
We are in support of our petition.
All right. Now, do you think that the actions you are taking now and what is happening at the court would affect the chances of your party emerging, if there's any chance at all of your party winning that case in tribunal? Do you think that what is currently ongoing now would affect that chance, that opportunity?
It's not going to affect it. And I'm going to put just one simple example for you. You see how you conducted president election with Atiku. When court asked him to step down, as Atiku petition died, when they in line with the constitution, the deputy chairman to usually step in, but with they have a reason for Labour Party own, and it is our internal affairs. Obi must not support illegality. Now we are in a court to receive our stolen mandate. We are looking for justice, but we were unable for him to obey a simple FCC High Court order. He was aware that this man had been restrained, yet Obi went to Asaba, sat with this same man and 3 others, and they were making pronouncements. Obi knew he has been restrained. They went and they conducting illegal primaries. If at the thing they will do, that at the end of the day, they will say, oh, we have elected a governor, and some people will set it aside and now have the position to be given to the second, as it occurred in that state, Rivers and Savannah in the last election. This is how people will be embracing illegality.
So I'm trying to understand.
You don't want to ventilate the anger in the court,
Mr. Arabambi,
we will not accept.
Does party supremacy mean anything?
Party supremacy.
The interest of your party, does it mean anything?
No.
Let me finish with the question. So the question is this.
I know where you are going.
No, let me finish. No, I don't think you do. Let me finish. Is it compulsory? Is there a time limit as to when Mr. Papa can decide to say, if I do not fight to be recognized now, that means it is now going to be overtaken by events and I can no longer decide to do that fight?
That's why I said I know where
is that the case? Or is it possible that if you decide to say, let us wait and let our party work together and finish this, then we can come back and fight for who should be national chairman or not?
No, let me tell you, we are not above the constitution of Nigeria. If APC, the ruling party, we obey the constitution. When a court remove the former governor of the Edo State, if PDP, we obey a court. When you must have to step down. What the hell is Labour Party doing? A party that is
when did Iyorchia Ayu step down, please?
Iyorchia Ayu.
When did he step down? When did he step down? When did he step down? I'm asking you, when did he step down? Was it before the elections? Was it after the elections?
Whether before, whether after, is consequential. A constitution was made.
Why do you think that it was the PDP conducted their matter in a situation where they had to first focus on the election. It was after the election, then they decided to do what they have to do.
No.
Can't the Labour Party do the same thing?
No, that was not the case. When they suspended him, he thought it was a joke, like the former governor of Edo State, until when court stepped in and asked that that suspension has been ratified. They now asked him to step down.
Was that after the election?
When that election, after election, let me tell you, my brother, don't begin to promote Labour Party above control of Nigeria. When not before election, when the court says step down, you bloody well step aside. Not because of Nigeria, we are not above. It's something above the constitution of Nigeria. It's something the right of constitution. And let me remind you, in 1979, is it not Anambra that you have you say okay, analysis equipment? The Nigeria born when we have number 2 and number 4 in this country as speaker and vice president. The Nigeria born will anybody be thinking I am bigger than Nigeria, that when a law is made, I have to break it because I am big. No, it's not going to be possible in the Labour. We are not going to run the Banana Republic. Why would everybody be telling us that, oh, you shall wait it? So is it how Labour Party wants to be conducting themselves? When you encourage somebody to go and speak another person wife, and you say no, because it is good, talking about law, you can go to a bank, you will rob, and they say, oh, leave him. He's a member of Labour Party.
All right.
Is that what we want to promote?
This is what Abure said yesterday. So Abure, at a press briefing yesterday, said that he has returned with other members that were suspended. I'll just quote what he said. Perhaps you respond to it. Now, I'm quoting him now. He says, it has become imperative for me to address this press conference to properly put the legal issues surrounding the leadership of the party in proper perspectives. It is pertinent to state categorically that Labour Party has no faction. It has only one leadership, and that leadership is the National Working Committee led by myself, Barrister Julius Abure. So, the Abure and Apapa factions, we all know what happened on Wednesday. Something else he said, while he was addressing journalists, he said that he is returned officially alongside with all suspended national executive members to the Secretariat following a motion for stay at the Court of Appeal. So, that is what his position is. Before I take questions from our listener, what would you respond to this? He says there's a motion for stay at the Court of Appeal on which he is acting on.
Now, let me tell you, that man read law, he did not study law. Abure has never, I put the record, I have never appeared in any court in Nigeria. He has never, as a lawyer.
Can you show proof that what he's saying? Can you show proof that the stay of Court of Appeal that he is working on now, or acting on, does not exist?
No, we are in court. That court today. But let me educate him if you have people listening. And we have the certain lawyer listening to this program. See, the law is settled to the fact that every person of authority must obey or comply with an order of the court, pending the discharge or overturn of the same. The court, in several cases, one of such, Federami versus Mowan in 1994, they said there is no distinction, exist between an interlocutory or final order in the duty to obey court and comply with the such order while it succeeds. Another was issued by a court with regular jurisdiction and competence must be obeyed by a party, even if it is, in his opinion, the other was reversed. Now, Abure's case was this. When the order was made on April 5, on the 12th, their preliminary objection was dismissed. Now, Paula will tell you the meaning of preliminary objection. Preliminary objection, when you find it, was meant to attain or destroy or reject someone. Once the preliminary objection succeeds, the case you find is gone, is dead. When preliminary objection fails, your case has life. He now said he's going to find appeal and motion for stay. Motion for stay will be heard by that same judge. That, you don't want.
In other words, let's just, because we don't have a lot of time. In other words, you're saying that the stay at the Court of Appeal that he is acting on is irrelevant. It is irrelevant.
He does not understand. He claims to be a lawyer. Lawyer will tell you when you file a motion for stay, until when it is started, it is the judge that grants that order that will listen to you to say, all
right, Mr. Arabambi.
Or I have decided
because of time, we have about 2 minutes more before we open the phone lines. Please, there's another thing we need to clarify. Reports have come in that Mr. Apapa had asked for a change of counsel, and someone has even said he had wanted to withdraw the case of the party from the tribunal.
I'm confirming that to you. You know why? You know, you didn't. You wanted to ask us what transpired in the court that day. It was because we were disappointed that to our face, Opi and Abure, we were together on that line because immediately the senior addressed the press. He told them, quote me, he told them that do not allow them to tell disobedience.
We watched the video. We had our correspondents at the court. We saw what happened, and I cannot recall any of what you're saying happening there now.
Let me tell you, you must recall it. If you have the video, go and look at it very well. If not for those police, we will have been buried by now. So when you say you have the video, you must be very, very fast. You see the way they were rolling is Abada. That man is not a young man. Supposing he flop and die. Some people that be telling us, oh, it was the devil. Which devil?
Now this is another point. He said he's going to go back there. That's what my papa said. Now, if he's aware that, well, this is going to cost me my life, shouldn't he be, or is he going to go there with his own people just to defend himself, or is he going to take another approach?
No. Today now we are there. We are now ready for the battle. Nobody else Nigeria.
In other words, you'd want to match supposedly violence with violence.
No, and whatever Obi wants, we will give it to him. If you want peace, we will give it peace. If anybody, now that they have made attempt at our life, we will not accept it. It's not about the law, my dear brother.
Okay.
When they have made attempt at our life that day, we have reported to the police, we have gone to the DSS, and we will pursue this matter lawfully against the
So quickly, let's open the phone lines. Let's open the phone lines. There's a lot of questions that needs to be asked. I'm going to ask more of them. But let's go to the phone lines, Mr. Arabambi. Let's hear from our listener. Perhaps they have one or two questions to ask you, contributions to make. 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0009. You can call us on either of those numbers, and you have access to us in the studio. Please, when you do, you go straight to the point. My guest still remains the National Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party, Abayomi Arabambi. Straight to the point, please. Victor is in Abayomi, is our first caller. All right, Mr. Arabambi, I please hope you listen so you can respond to the questions that are being asked. Victor from Abayomi, you're welcome. Good morning. Hello, Victor. Good morning to you. Go ahead, Victor.
My brother, I am just dumbfounded. I am Labour Party member in River State, and I can tell you without missing it. You know, if you know me for one thing, I will always come on air to tell you the truth. The truth. People are not ashamed. Where is their conscience? Of all this trouble, somebody will just come from nowhere. Who will tell me today that our papa was not bought? In fact, I'm disappointed.
All right, let's go to
Let him come out and say he's doing it in his own capacity, fighting for his own right. He was bought, paid, heavily. It happened even in this state.
All right, let's go to Eliozu now. Victor, thank you very much. Braid is on one. Braid from Eliozu, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, my question is this. One, why is it that a papa wants to withdraw the matter? And why is it that if he wants to represent the party, as if really relate with Peter Obi concerning the matter, and he has looked at the matter, called the luminaries that is handling the matter, sit with them on a round table to look at the matter before going to the court that he wants to stand in for the party. And also the way and manners they are going about this issue, that they are going to deal with Peter Obi, they are going to do it. It's like there is something under. There is something that they want to pull down the party.
All right, great. Thank you very much. JJ, now 3. Oh, lost a call from JJ. Mr. Arabambi, quickly. Let's hear what you think about this. Some people have even at the leadership of the Labour Party. Are you also aware that Mr. Papa has said that if the offer comes from the APC candidate and President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he would relate with his NWC members, and they would, in that sense, accept the offer of going to have a meeting with him. I don't know if you're aware that he said that as well. Hello, Mr. Arabambi. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? Did you hear my question?
I can hear you.
I said, I don't know if you're aware that Mr. Papa has also said that if the president-elect reaches out, he would, with his NWC members, consult and goes, and if everybody is agree, he would definitely not see anything wrong in meeting with the president-elect. And
that should be a statement from Obi or Abure himself.
No, that is what Papa said, that he would do that. But and then many have also accused you of being ethnic with some of your comments with regards to issues within your party, not being comfortable with the fact that certain members from the southeastern parts of the country are involved in activities of the party. Just hold your thoughts. Hold on the thought. You respond to all of these. Let's take 2 more calls and then you go on. Robin is in Echie. Robin, good morning.
Good morning, my brother Andrew.
All right, go ahead.
You see, my take on this matter is politicians in Nigeria. I don't know whether they learn lesson. Everybody doing hot and cold. I know that the politics of 2023 brought a new dynamics, but that new dynamics, by my own understanding, is destructive. Where a member of the same party will be chasing other members of the same party. But I have a word for those who are listening to me now. I belong to a faith. And in my faith, there's a popular story about one man called Nebuchadnezzar. All politicians in Nigeria put together, their wealth is not 1/3 of what the man has. He sits on golden chair. He drinks from golden cup. But it came a time when he was walking with his knees in the forest. Nigerian politicians should learn. They should stop playing God. Thank you.
All right, Chima in GRA, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Andrew.
Go on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Andrew. I think I don't know what the intentions of Lamidi Papa and the group are, but I want to say that. Hello.
Yes, Chima, go ahead.
That they might be having good intentions, but their actions is portraying them as if somebody somewhere is bankrolling them. Look, Papa have made several confrontational statements, especially the one, even though it's not the position of Labour Party, where he said Labour Party cannot be in support of Tinubu not swearing in, even though I know that it's not the position of Labour Party. You understand? So let them be mindful of their actions. If you know that you are working for the interest of the party, I don't see any reason why you want to scuttle everything, every processes the party is fulfilling. I don't understand. I mean, why can't we first of all pursue the case in the court?
Apologies, Chima. I think you got interrupted by your service provider. And Okrika, Muriel is on the line. Hello, Muriel.
Oh, good morning, Efemi.
You're welcome.
Efemi, it is now clear that the Labour Party is going through the maturity process that PDP and APC went through. In fact, they are blending in. When it's a pity, we thought they would come and do differently. But Efemi, I want to ask, clearly now that the Labour Party has 2 factions. Now, the leader of the faction that said he's acting on court order, and that's why he went there, and they booed him out. Now I want to ask, the other faction, have they gone to another court to counter that action is acting on? Or they are just acting out of their emotional feelings? Have they gone to a court to counter the court order that is standing? Thank you, Fiemi.
All right, thank you very much, Muriel. Arabambi, I'm pretty sure you'd have a response to some of the comments that's been raised. Mr. Arabambi, if you can hear me.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I can hear you.
So
Thank you
quickly, has there been meetings between your candidate Peter Obi and the various factions of the Labour Party leadership? In 1 minute, before we go for a commercial.
Yeah, you see, Peter Obi on air said he has never in his life met with Papa. Peter Obi, on his own volition, due to his co-traveling nature with Abi, which we as he refuses to have anything to do with any member of NWC. Do not forget, he was not elected for Muromi by Abure and Company. He was elected by us. We have the video. I make idea. But that man just chooses to disrespect.
You have not answered the question. You said you are in support of Obi's candidacy, but don't you also think that certain comments you make to malign his image doesn't support your earlier claim that you support his candidacy? The question is, has there been meetings, yes or no?
Now, what I want to explain to you, somebody that said doesn't know me, you want me to not be rolling on the ground for him because he's God?
But that is not what Mr. Papa said. Mr. Papa yesterday said meetings have been held, conversations have been held, and they are making progress. So is it that you're not sharing the same information?
No, we were the one that attended the meeting, and we were told by Dr. Chibuzo that Papa will not be allowed to stand for the party.
But you just said that no meeting was held because he doesn't want to see you. Meanwhile, let's take a commercial. Let's take a commercial. When we return, we would continue. Just stay on the line for us. We'll go for a very short commercial now. Stay on the line. Thank you very much. Let's go for a commercial. We'll be right back, Mr. Arabambi.
Hello there. Do you know that the Nigerian
can still get in touch with him. Hello, Mr. Arabambi, are you still on the line? Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Okay, quickly. We have just a couple of minutes left. You were responding to a question, and I was also asking you about some ethnic comments that you made about the party being filled with Igbos, if they think this is this Anambra state, and some of those kind of comments. Will many feel like is there some sort of grudge against members of the Southeast in your party?
Well, thank you very much. There is no grudge with anybody from the South Indian party, but our grudges, emanated from the fact that right from last year, I raised an issue concerning stabilization agenda of Peter Obi and Aburi. And why did I say so? We can't have the president candidate from the South, national from the South, the director general of the campaign from the South, the secretary general of the campaign from the South, the deputy director general of the campaign from the South. I told them to big face that Labour Party should not be seen as an ethnically inclined party.
Then why did you support him in the first place, according to you?
I said that was when it all started. When we constituted our PCC was when it now came to Anambra our political party, because we have the deputy director general of our campaign from Anambra, Oseluka. We have the secretary general of the campaign from Anambra, Ojuku. We told him that no, this is not what you promised Nigeria.
Okay.
You want to take Nigeria, from those people and return it back to the owner. This is not what we want.
All right, quickly, respond to this. Respond to this in a few seconds before we go. The president-elect is a Muslim. His deputy is a Muslim. Do you also think that perhaps there is the speculation of some Islamization agenda in the country? And what is your view about having a Muslim ticket leading the country? Hello, Mr. Arabambi.
I can't hear that question very well.
I'm pretty sure you got me. Islamization agenda is what people have talked about. Muslim ticket for the president-elect and his vice. What do you think about that?
All of us, I spoke against it, even in Labour Party.
So at the moment, are you in support of it now that he's going to come in, or are you still against it?
No, an election has been held. You can't be talking about that now. Are you getting it? One cannot be talking.
But election has been held in the case of your party, and you're still talking about.
No, it's an agenda within that party is not what we are talking about our party. I spoke against it. Even a lot of our party members are afraid.
Mr. Arabambi, unfortunately, time will not allow us to continue. I wish we could, but we don't have a lot of time. Hopefully, we'll engage you sometime again during the week and have a deeper conversation. But thank you for making out time to be with us. We'll have to wrap things up here. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. Time for the world news. Apologies for eating into that time. Stay tuned.
You are tuned in to 92.3.